Hi, team. This is Dr. T, Coach Ed. Hey, guys, we're 30 to 45 days out. It's game time. It is time to toe the line, get ready for the jump ball, get ready for the whatever sport you played, or that's what I like to use. But either way, it is time. It's time to prepare to take your soon to be college student to college. Moving day is exciting. Even the trip going to the college is equal as exciting. Um, I remember my trip to Tennessee. It was a 6 hour trip. All six of the family members were there. Um, just small conversations, stopping here and there, get something to eat, just with the anticipation. How's it going to be? How's my roommate going to be? Who is it? Those sort of things are all crossing the mind, and not only the student, the parents too. You in most cases you're going into new territory. So what I want to do today, we got 30 days out, 45 days max, is just make sure that we have covered everything that you need to prepare. And the most important thing is the academic piece. So make sure that you have, just take um, a copy of your high school transcript. It should be an official one. Um, High school transcript, any credit, if they've gone to an early college program, any credit from that institution, you need to make sure that they are aware of it. You may not be able to deal with it on move-in day, but at some point, you got time. You can go ahead and do that now. Um, Finalize the schedule. Just make sure that either either it's going to happen one or two ways. Either the advisor is going to do it for your child or the student, or the student plays a part in the creation of the schedule. Either way, at this point, there should be a schedule made. If not, in addition to, even if you do, I think it's a good idea to either, if you know who your advisor is or your success coach, do one or two things. Either send them an email saying, "Hi, I'm Reginald Towns. Look forward to be part of your advising team, blah blah blah," or just give them a call, real short. "Hi, this is Reginald Towns. Look forward to you being my academic advisor," and blah blah blah. But do that. Textbooks. Most schools have gone to um, virtual textbooks. Very few that I know of still ask students to purchase textbooks. It may be part of the tuition. If you want, you get them online. So whichever one, just be ready for it. And orientations may be over, but what you need to know: two dates. When do you move in? When you have larger schools with lots, thousands of people coming in, they may stagger the time or stagger the days, just to make sure that the moving process is smooth. So, which leads me to my next point: housing and room logistics. Make sure you have um, your room assignment. You know where to go. You know possibly who your roommate may be, um, and that's what moving day is all about. Please adhere to instructions, especially parking. Let's not have anybody's vehicle towed because they parked in the wrong spot. But make sure you understand when your moving date is, date and time, especially if it's going to be a staggered situation. And like I said, when you have larger schools, they may stagger it just to make sure it goes safely and smoothly. Um, if you can, read the dorm rooms beforehand. I think it's a good idea that you know what's expected. Just read all you can about this new environment you're going to have your child in, or you're going to be in as a student. Especially, what happens if you have an issue with a roommate? What happens if there's electronic or mechanical problem? What happens if and this is the growing up part. If you have a roommate and they like to smoke, uh, cigarettes, marijuana, whatever. I'm quite sure that's not allowed in the class in the dorm room. So those are things you might have to deal with. If you can, coordinate with your roommate regarding things like TVs, refrigerators, those sort of things. Microwave, I would stay away from. They pull a lot of energy from those sockets, and may put a strain on the building or whatever. Uh, but in most cases, microwaves are frowned upon. They are not allowed. But check whatever the room rules or the dorm rules or the policies of the university in regards to stuff like that. I think it's still okay to bring refrigerators in and TVs. Like I said before, it doesn't make sense to bring two TVs. So, although if maybe a small one, and you can have Bluetooth attachments to that, you can just watch your own. But to have a 55-inch TV in a room that you share with somebody, that doesn't make sense to me. Make sure you have an idea of how big the room is. If you had a chance to go to the university and go on a tour, I'm quite sure you got an idea of the size of the room, so you'll know what to expect. Okay, when you're packing, this is good a good idea. You need to be aware of the season. Yes, when you go, it may be kind of warm, like August, September, first couple of weeks of September, still kind of warm. But as you get into the October and November, um, there will be a need for a change of clothing. More warm jackets, that sort of thing. So pack it, pack lightly, pack to the point where you understand the season. That's what I'm trying to say. You may need a jacket or thing for the fall. Now, when you go home for Thanksgiving, in some cases you don't go back until January. Then you're going to pack again. You're going to pack a little heavier coat or sweaters or whatever. But as springtime comes, you need to be able to dress accordingly. So just be aware of that. Um, label your stuff. Maybe label your stuff ahead of time. I remember I had my name in everything: t-shirts, underwear, shoes, everything, just so that why just the two of you in there. But anyway, but also when you pack your boxes, so you'll know what's what is in this particular box, so you'll know what to do with it. And I'm quite sure your family's going to be around to help you instead of leaving you with a bunch of boxes. Hopefully not. Bedding. Make sure your bedding is the right size for the mattress you're going to be sleeping on. And you can get that information either from housing, or it should be in a packet of information you've gotten from housing. Um, Laundry supplies. Yeah, you're going to need your uh, laundry products, your detergent, your little baskets or whatever, so you can make sure that's done on a regular basis. Um, And then going back to make sure you have prescriptions. Make sure this is overlooked for students that are on medication on an ongoing basis. You need to either transfer this information to a pharmacy in that city so that your child can continue to get the medication as needed. I think that's left out so often that people forget to do that. Okay, we kind of mentioned this. Make sure your financial aid stuff is in order. Try to make sure that's done before. You got 30 days, you got 45 days. Make sure that stuff is done before you get to campus. I think it slows down the process. In some cases, at some schools, you can't even get into the dorms or the residential halls unless all of this is cleared up. Your financial aid, they have all the documents you need that you should have on file on campus. They get all this stuff there if they don't have it beforehand. Once that stuff is done and the business has been taken care of, then you go to the dorms. Kind of takes the steam out of the whole excitement of the event. For me, I went straight to the dorm, got my key, boom, boom, boom. You know, we were out in less than an hour. And in less than an hour or so, I'm waving at my parents and my brothers and sisters, say, "See y'all in the fall. See y'all Thanksgiving." But make sure you understand the process. Make sure just call and say, "Do you have this? Do you have these things from me? If not, I will send them to you." Also, banking. Without a doubt, your child may already have a bank account, and in this case, if there's a need to transfer information or just make sure they have a card that's up to date and they can use it as will. Um, Hopefully you've had this discussion about money, just the spending of money, and if there's a plan to put money into their account on a weekly, monthly basis, um, you discussion of a budget. You know, don't spend it all at some restaurant, and then although you could eat in the dorm for free, you pay for that. Make sure all your health insurance information is taken care of. In this case, a lot of institutions they already have uh, insurance included in the tuition. If you want to keep or maintain your child on your health insurance plan, you need to notify the institution, and they should not charge you for um, the insurance as part of tuition. So you make sure of that. Um, let's see. Um, the IP 504 information. If you have a child who was given accommodations during the school year or in the 12th grade or whatever grade it started, make sure you have copies of this information. You should have already sent this information to the accessibility office. If not, there's still time. Um, I would like to say is at this point is urgent so that they can make sure that one, they know that your child is expecting accommodations. And this information will be sent to the professors, the instructors, also the advisors, so they would know that to look out, or when they meet with the student or your child, they can ask, how things are going. Are you getting your accommodations? No. Oh, we'll take care of that. So that's another thing that advising also can look into, and not leave it up totally to the student. These are part of the resources that are available. The instructors, yeah, they got it. Did they read it? I can't tell you. But and I can't say that they remember to give you their accommodation. So there must be some accountability on the student, your child. Make sure that they know that the accommodations are expected, not the day of. I would like to say a week prior to, because there may be some schools this needs to be routed to the testing center. And if that's the case, then you need to make sure that this is done a week before a test or exam. Okay, if there's this is where the I guess the mental piece, if there's a lot of anxiety, and I think in a prior uh, video I asked, let's make sure that this is talked about. This is a new environment. Let's if you need us, call us. You need to talk. We're going to call you every Saturday or every Sunday, blah, blah, blah. Make sure that the student knows that you're there and you're available, as well as make sure you understand and have a good understanding, you as a parent and as a student, what are the resources, the student support resources on campus. If there's an academic issue, that's where the advisor comes in. If there's a counseling issue, the advisor can refer your child to the counseling center. If you need tutoring, these things need to be. These are the three main ones on the college campus that are used on a regular basis. Just know how to access it. Another one that bothers me is the and I'm a if I haven't done it, I need to do it. A time management piece. Time management is so critical for a new student. Understanding that they left a system of 12 years of this, doing this, going to a class, every class, every hour, whatever. This is a little different, and they need to understand that no one's going to tell you when to study. The best indicator of needing to study will be in your test scores and your exams. But understanding, and I'm gonna promise you, I'm gonna do this so we can get a little bit more in depth into the time management piece. But understanding time management, self care. You're adults now. Your child is an adult, 18 years old, and they're held responsible for maintaining themselves and self care, physically and mentally, and understanding the independence. That's a lot of independence when you go to a college campus. Some students do well with it, some don't. So just be aware of that. I strongly encourage you to get involved. Get involved with a club. Get involved with something that's your passion. If you're a musician, what about the concert band? What about the marching band? If you're an athlete but not on the caliber to participate on a collegiate sport, do intramurals, drama, volunteer for a local organization, get involved. I push that because it looks good on your resume. When you graduate, here's a list of things that you've done outside the classroom. And I think that's a better look as opposed to, well, you look at the resume, did you volunteer for anything? Well, no, I always study. I'm a good student. I see you're a good student, but what do you do outside the classroom? I think that's important. Um, Travel and transportation. Uh, some students experience being homesick, and they want to come home every weekend. They miss mama's cooking, and they miss their bed, their room, blah blah blah. To get away from the roommate or whatever. That needs to be talked about. If it's feasible, if the person has a car, that's an expense. But I think that's something to be talked about. If your child is far enough away that it requires a plane ticket, and this is where it gets sticky. I've run into many situations where a student will book a ticket and it will interfere with exams. That's a problem. In my opinion, you need to find out the exam schedule as soon as possible, midterms and finals, because a lot of places at midterms there's a fall break, and you may want to go home during that time. So find out what the midterm schedule is for um, to go home, and then govern yourself accordingly. And then finally, we want to just make sure you have your school email set up. Check it. Start checking it now, because there may be some things that may come up that you need to know. You need to make sure you have backup documents, and this is to be left with the student. Backup documents and files, just in case. Make sure you got your laptop. Make sure you got your uh, all the stuff that the campus. A lot of people use the key entry instead of keys to get into dorms and to your rooms, and I think that's safe. That's safe. Make sure you're safe. All right, guys. I have given you all that I have. I hope you agree with what I've given you here, to the point where, look, make it a good experience for you both, for everyone involved, the family and the child. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I think the first couple of weeks is going to be difficult, being away from home, um, but it's going to be okay. All right, guys. Uh, Look, you got any questions, please send it to coachedsolutions@gmail.com. And guys, I'm here to do all I can for as many people as I can for as long as I can. And I hope you are with me on that. All right, guys, have any questions? Let me know. Thanks.